Orbital and ocular tumors vary from harmless growths that only require monitoring to aggressive malignancies that can threaten both sight and life. Early detection and accurate diagnosis are key, followed by treatment that aims to control the tumor while preserving vision whenever possible. Benign orbital tumors may appear at any age. Some are present from birth and grow slowly over the years, while others enlarge rapidly. Tumors located near the surface can often be identified just by looking and feeling, but deeper lesions require imaging, typically CT scans, to determine their size and position. Even though they are non-cancerous, these masses can cause the eye to protrude, a condition known as proptosis, and they may put pressure on the optic nerve or eye muscles, jeopardizing vision. Examples include cystic dermoid cysts, mucoceles, hemangiomas, lymphangiomas, lacrimal gland tumors, and neurofibromas. Whenever possible, complete surgical removal is the goal to prevent recurrence. Deep tumors that involve orbital bone may require more complex dissection, and in some cases, such as optic nerve meningiomas, a partial removal may be safer to avoid damaging vision. Benign tumors can also occur in the conjunctiva. A conjunctival nevus is a congenital pigmented spot that may darken during adolescence, while conjunctival melanosis, which develops in middle age, carries a risk of progressing to melanoma. Dermoid cysts containing keratin and sebum can appear in the conjunctiva, and dermolipomas are smooth, rounded growths found near the outer corner of the eye. Papillomas, which are soft, irregular growths, often appear on the eyelid margin. These lesions are generally managed with surgical excision. Among malignant orbital tumors, rhabdomyosarcoma is the most common primary tumor in children, though it can also develop in adults. It typically causes sudden, painless bulging of one eye, followed by swelling of the eyelids, swelling of the conjunctiva, and limited eye movement. CT or MRI scans help define the tumor's size, location, and stage, as well as the extent of any bone damage. The lungs are the most common site for metastasis. Treatment often involves a combination of surgery, radiation therapy, and chemotherapy. In some cases, removal of the eye is necessary, making psychological support for the patient and family an important part of care. Eyelid tumors are another category to consider. Basal cell carcinoma is the most common malignant eyelid tumor, followed by squamous cell carcinoma, with melanoma being rare. These occur more often in fair-skinned individuals with a history of long-term sun exposure. Basal cell carcinoma usually appears as a painless nodule near the inner corner of the lower lid, with a pearly white edge. It invades surrounding tissues slowly, but does not spread to distant sites. Squamous cell carcinoma can look similar at first, but is more likely to spread to nearby lymph nodes. Melanoma may develop from a pre-existing nevus and can spread both locally and to distant organs. All malignant eyelid tumors require complete surgical excision, and larger resections may need skin grafts from the buccal mucosa, thigh, or abdomen. Patients are often referred to oncology for further evaluation and may require radiation therapy. The conjunctiva can also be the site of malignant growths. Conjunctival carcinoma appears as a gelatinous, whitish lesion and tends to grow slowly in sun-exposed areas. While deep invasion and metastasis are uncommon, extensive excision may be needed if the tumor is aggressive. Melanomas of the conjunctiva are rare but serious, sometimes arising from a nevus or melanosis. Squamous cell carcinoma can also occur, though it is uncommon. Because many of these tumors have a high recurrence rate, radiation therapy and cryotherapy are often used after surgery. Malignant tumors of the globe itself are rare but significant, with ocular melanoma being the most common. This choroidal tumor may resemble a benign nevus in its early stages, making careful examination critical. The workup includes looking for evidence of metastasis, most often to the liver, lungs, or breast, as well as retinal photography, fluorescein angiography, and ultrasonography. Tumors are classified by size as small, medium, or large. Small lesions are often monitored, while medium and large tumors may be treated with radiation, enucleation, or both. Radiation can be given as an external beam over several days or through a small radioactive plaque placed directly over the tumor. Whether benign or malignant, orbital and ocular tumors demand a careful, individualized approach that addresses not just the tumor itself, but also the patient's vision, cosmetic appearance, and emotional well-being.